So hi and welcome to this video. So today I'm actually going to be showing you a full exterior clean and protection on this Volkswagen Up. So this car actually is barely ever driven. I cleaned it about this time last year, to be honest, put pretty good sealant, I put Fuso coat on it and it's held up pretty well, but the car's barely driven and it's sort of sat on the driveway and accumulated a lot of dirt, a lot of dust, bird poo and things like that. So it's not a disaster. I've definitely seen dirtier cars, but it really did need kind of bring it back to life, which I'm going to show you the process of doing that in this video. So of course all exterior cleans I do in particular basically start off with just power washing the car to kind of remove a lot of this dust and dirt that's really kind of stuck on there, that's going to be removed by power washing. So I basically just went ahead and used the Karcher on a fan setting and just tried to really kind of go at the car and get as much off as possible, kind of keeping around a metre distance away from the paint, being careful not to damage it, but just really sort of giving it a blast and seeing what I could actually remove with that. So I was getting really into the wheel arches and particularly into the window seals because a lot of algae and stuff like that had built up in there. So just kind of removing a little bit of this and seeing what I could do at this stage. So the next step was actually just to go ahead and snow foam the car as a pre-wash stage. So here I'm using Bilt Hamber Auto Foam. So this is my favourite foam. I have got a review of it on the channel. I absolutely love it in terms of its cleaning ability. It's not the thickest foam in the world, but if you're looking for a foam that actually does something that really cleans the car and gets really good results, makes the wash process, the later steps in the contact wash much safer, then you'll really like this foam. It's one of the best snow foams I've tried in terms of actually being able to remove a lot of this dust and dirt, this kind of traffic film on the car. So it was quite a sunny day, so I didn't let that dwell for too long. It doesn't really need to, it's quite a powerful snow foam, so generally just let it dwell for probably only about 3 to 5 minutes before power washing it off. As you can see, it was quite a windy day, so struggling a little bit with the power washer there, but the foam comes off quite easily. It's quite a thin foam, so by the time it comes to actually rinsing it off, you don't have to work too hard. It doesn't cling and it doesn't wreck your driveway, and it doesn't sort of hang about, so it's quite a good one to rinse off. But really sort of, again, trying a little bit harder with a power washer than the original first time I did it, because a lot of the dirt and road traffic film and things like that, a lot looser after sort of being soaked with this Bilt Hamber Auto Foam. So it's really good product to use if you're looking for that cleaning power. The next thing I actually did just before the wheels and the proper contact wash was actually deal with kind of the window seals and sort of the rubber that had built up quite a lot of algae, to be honest, and a lot of, I think it was algae rather than mould, but I basically just went in with an all-purpose cleaner. So this was Bilt Hamber at 10%, so reasonably concentrated for this product. I just went in with a soft detailing brush and sort of worked it into the seals just to clean them up a bit. So you can kind of see a little bit here, the foam turning a bit brown basically, as there was a lot of dirt and dust in this area that even the Bilt Hamber foam couldn't really handle. So this mainly was around the window seals, also kind of around the mirror as well was quite a bit of an issue for this area. I wanted to make sure I got all this plastic trim as clean as possible, as I wanted to dress it later on. So using a brush I find more effective than using a wash mitt for these kind of stages. So this is why I went in, and obviously the brush is a little bit more aggressive, still safe, but just more aggressive on these areas. So that's why I wanted to kind of use this product. Then after that, I just wanted to rinse everything down. So you'll notice in the video when I do the rest of the wash process that I was working on quite small panels and rinsing them down each time, just because it was quite a warm day and I was conscious of causing things like soap stains and things like that, because I was using quite concentrated products. I didn't really want them to dry on the surface. So again, just rinsing everything down each stage. It takes a little bit longer, but it's definitely worth it in this case. So here I was dealing with things like the badges, so again quite hard to clean with your actual wash mitt, so going ahead and using really quite a soft detailing brush is your best option. This was actually on glass, so I didn't really have to worry about scratches and swirls, but if you are doing it on paintwork, just be really careful using a brush. Make sure it's very soft and you're using plenty of lubrication is the best way to go. Again, just rinsing it down, making sure that it was completely clean and there was no sort of risk of soap stains and things like that at this stage. I didn't want that. So yeah, just going ahead with the pressure washer. So the next thing I wanted to move on to was the wheels. So here I'm using Bilt Hamber Corosol. It's a really good iron fallout remover. They do have a wheel cleaner, but I just have the fallout remover and I find that it works really well on the wheels. So Sprayed that on, let it dwell for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then power washed it down. Then it was time to go ahead and actually contact wash the wheels. So here I was using, it was actually traffic film remover and a mixture of that and shampoo. Pretty cheap products. I wasn't using anything special on the wheels at this stage, so I was just using a microfiber wash mitt. I find that these kind of Chanel microfiber wash mitts are really, really good. I use them on the paint and the wheels, but I use different ones for each. So I tend to use the yellow ones on the wheels and I use green ones on the paintwork, just to kind of keep them separate. Keeping all your brushes and your actual buckets and tools separate really helps to obviously avoid things like cross-contamination, and just sort of peace of mind that you aren't scratching and swirling the paintwork. So after using the microfiber wash mitt, I went ahead and used a soft detailing brush just to get into all the corners, because these wheels were not the most complex in the world, but the spokes were quite tight on them, so I did have to work with the brush. The microfiber wash mitt was just too big to kind of deal with all these areas, so it was better for just the face of the brush to use the microfiber wash mitt, and then for in between the spokes just to use a softer detailing brush to kind of tackle these areas, and the badge, just making sure I was getting a really thorough clean here. Then of course just power washing everything down before I actually went ahead and cleaned the wheel barrel, just because I didn't want those kind of soap stains and things dry on the surface. So I was just using an alloy brush, not a fancy one. I am looking to kind of upgrade these pretty soon. However, this brush I picked up quite cheap, and it's stood up pretty well. I've had this probably for about a year and a half now, and it still does a really good job at getting the wheel barrels and just getting those as clean as possible. So I was struggling a little bit, but I managed to get kind of between the spokes and clean out the wheel barrels as much as possible. Then I wanted to move on to the tyres. Probably should have done this first, but actually went ahead and did this last on the wheels. And I used Bilt Hamber at 10% again, an all-purpose cleaner. And then I just used a stiff brush, basically dipped in the traffic film remover at about 2% to actually just give the wheels a good scrub down and make sure the tyres were ready to basically be dressed later on. Just get better durability by doing this, particularly if you are dealing with very dirty tyres, which these were. You'll notice a big difference if you go ahead and clean the tyres first. With my car, because I keep on top of them, I don't tend to have to do this every single time before I want to apply tyre dressing, but if you're dealing with a car that's not been cleaned in a year, then you really can't sort of skip this step. And it's quite important if you want the tyre dressing to last more than sort of a day. So here I was using one of my new favourite products. So this is Garage Therapy Zero. So it's a decontamination wash, and I used 25ml in a 10 litre bucket, and it's honestly such a great shampoo if you're looking for something to kind of do what it says, basically to decontaminate the paintwork. So it works well for removing things like old waxes and sealants, but it's also good for just dealing with really, really grotty cars, basically cars that haven't been washed well or washed frequently and just been quite neglected. Your typical sort of pH neutral shampoos just aren't going to have as much kind of bite to them and basically just not be as effective. So I actually have done a review of this product. I've used it on a few cars now. I've used it on my own car and other people's cars that have been quite neglected, and it's just dealt with everything really, really well. When I'm sort of planning on doing these kind of transformation videos, and also before sort of using sealant and things like that on my car, this is a product that I'm just looking to now. It's really, really good. So definitely check out the review if you're looking for this kind of product. It was honestly something I didn't think I would need until I tried it. But having these kind of decontamination shampoos in your collection is something that's a really, really good idea, both for cars that are kind of well maintained, but also for ones that are neglected if you are dealing with them. You're unfortunate enough to have to deal with them. But here, again, just making sure that I was washing each area quite thoroughly using microfiber wash mitt and power washing it down. So I actually used multiple wash mitts rather than using the 2-bucket method. As I kind of prefer this. I think it's a little bit safer and a little bit faster as well. So the next thing I actually did was went ahead and dried the towel using the Pluffle, which is by the Ragmaster. It's a really, really good towel, very, very soft, really, really absorbent. So particularly something you need when you're working on a car that doesn't have a coating, where the water just sticks to it. And a lot of cars, you know, when they've got a really good sealant on, you can kind of rinse the car dry and there's just a few sort of beads left on the surface that you need to pick up. But with this, the entire car was just covered in water, so I needed something a little bit more heavy duty. But the Pluffle, it's only quite small, but it's really, really absorbent, and I prefer a smaller kind of drying towel. It's more sort of manageable and I don't have to run the risk of dropping it on the floor. So then I wanted to actually go ahead and restore the trim. So this is probably something a lot of people do last, but I tend to do it before doing the windows and the rest of the details. So I used Autoglym Bumper and Tire Gel for this. Pretty cheap, you can pick it up from places like Halfords. It's nothing special really, but it does a good job. It's reasonably long lasting. You probably get a few months of this before you would have to reapply it. But I just went ahead and applied it using a pretty old microfiber towel. Of course, you don't have to use microfiber. I prefer to, but something that's you're not really going to be that bothered about using again, or you're just going to use these kind of jobs. You don't want to use your best microfiber on this, definitely. Just went ahead and used that. So then I just went ahead and cleaned the glass. So I like using these water repellent glass cleaners like this one from Chem, as it leaves that kind of hydrophobic coating on the windows, just makes it safer to drive. It's a really effective glass cleaner, so you don't have to worry about compromising its actual cleaning ability. It's definitely going to do a good job at that, but it really did a good job at leaving that kind of hydrophobic coating. I honestly wouldn't be without these kind of products now that I've tried them. I don't have a specific coating on my windows and I don't apply it to anyone else's. I just don't own that kind of product at the moment. But using these glass cleaners is just great because you can just do it every time you wash it, and it lasts reasonably well on the windscreen. You probably have to reapply it weekly on the windscreen, but on the back windows and the side windows you get up to a couple of months really out of this before you would probably need to apply it again to kind of get the water repellency back. So it's really good product. Then I went ahead and used another Chem product. So I used the tire gel in this case, really nice tire gel. I have done a review of this, and I have actually done a review of some of the other Chem products in the range, so I'll leave a link in the description for that. They do pretty cheap offer for free shipping, and you can get different samples of them, which I took advantage of, so check out that review. Then I went ahead and it was time to seal the car. So here I was using this product for the first time actually. So this is Garage Therapy's 3/ceramic sealant, and honestly another Garage Therapy product that now I've tried just wouldn't be without. It's such a good product in terms of its gloss, its finish. It's really easy to apply, it doesn't take long. I thought it'd be a little bit complicated, but it wasn't. All you actually do is just spread it over the surface using, you can either use a microfiber kind of applicator block, which I use, I find a little bit easier, or you can use a microfiber towel, and then you actually just let it sit once you've spread it for around 30 to 60 seconds. And then you actually go and level the product using a microfiber, just press very lightly, and then leave it a few more seconds longer and then buff it off, and you sort of reveal a really glossy finish. I have done an application video on this product, so I will leave a link for that in the description. You can kind of read a little bit more or watch a little bit more about that and just hear me talk about it a bit more, kind of rave about it, because honestly I was so happy with this product. You can see the results at the end, obviously what the car actually looks like, but it's really slick. If you sort of like glide your hand over the paintwork at the end, it's so slick. The water repellent is great, and also basically it's quite easy to apply. Don't let the kind of having to use two towels and leveling it and things like that worry you. It's not, even though it has ceramic in the name, it's not complicated like applying ceramic coating. You can do it outside. You basically just need it not to rain for as long as possible, ideally 24 hours after applying it. So here that was fine, it was quite a warm day, so I did just pull the car into the shade to make sure that I wasn't, you know, making the product dry on the surface. But you can leave sort of the curing time a little bit less if you're dealing in hotter conditions, but you do want to have to deal with a cool panel to make sure you're getting the best results and not sort of running into streaking. But that wasn't something that I had an issue with here, though it was a warm day. There was no streaking and it was a really good finish. So as I've said, I've got an application video for this. I will be doing a review as well. If I haven't uploaded this already by the time of doing this video, if I have, I'll leave a link in the description and a card on screen. But honestly, I couldn't say better things about this product and really liked it. So here you can actually see the gloss levels on the car. It's looking great. Really happy. The owner was very happy with this. But thanks very much for watching this video. If you want to see the interior clean of this car, I'll leave a link in the description and a card on screen. I tackled that as well. But thanks for watching this video. Please like the video if you have enjoyed it. Comment down below if you've got any questions, and subscribe for weekly detailing videos like product reviews, transformations and detailing tips and tricks. But thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.